So friends, this is a holy group that's here in Yizkor. Yizkor is very hard, to put it mildly. We are here to honor and to remember and to hold on the holiest day of the year. You could say that this period of time is the holy of holies of the holiest day of the year. It's a time where we are not afraid to cry. As my teacher said to me and Jenny, if God created tears, this is the reason. Yom Kippur is a day for not holding back, and Yom Kippur is a day for missing and remembering and honoring. And according to the rabbis, the idea of Yizkor, especially on Yom Kippur, is that we go into Yom Kippur a little nervous, a little scared, maybe worried about where we stand, where we are in our lives. We want to kind of pull the souls of those who we miss most dearly and bring them into the shul with us, kind of to be with us. And in a moment, we'll have some time to actually reflect and to imagine and really even speak to in our hearts people who are no longer with us. May their memories be a blessing. To do that, let me give you one kavanah, one thinking, intention as we bring these people to mind who we miss dearly. Some we've lost only in recent weeks and months, past year. The Amidah prayer we do on Yom Kippur, on Rosh Hashanah, on every Shabbat, on every day, every single day of the year, 3 times a day technically, the Amidah begins what's called the Avot and the Imahot. Baruch Atah Hashem, etc. Eloheinu, Avraham, Avotenu, Vimotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Sarah, Rebecca, Rivka, Rachel, Leah are Avot and Imahot. And the rabbis, when they created this prayer thousands of years ago, the idea is that to begin this important prayer, this most holy prayer, we're going to go in and we're going to connect with God and have our private moment with the Holy One. The first thing we should do before we even go into that conversation with God is first remind God, so to speak, of those people who were so great, who were the first leaders, the founders really of Judaism, and say, if you're, please listen to me, listen to my prayer, please God, listen to me, hear me out. But if you're questioning on any level, listening to me, remember who came before me, remember on whose shoulders I stand. And if you don't simply want to listen to me, do it for the sake, the merit is the word to use, the zchut, of these great people that came before me. Listen to me, not for me. Listen to me because of the people who made who I am. And I bring that to Yizkor here because I, from the bottom of my heart, believe it's true. That all of us here who are desperately, painfully missing people, one of the reasons we miss them so desperately, one of the many, is like the Avot and Imahot. They built who we are. They are, to use that song, right? The wind that's beneath our wings. And the challenge, of course, is they're not here in this world to literally lift us up as they may have done before. So we have to imagine it and remember it in those most difficult and challenging times. What would these great people who built us, what would they have done? The Abrahams and Sarahs. Now I also want to note, and it's said here in the Yikzor, if you wish to offer that prayer too, not everyone that came before us built us up so well. There are people, legitimately, who may have tried their best with what they had, with their resources, to try to be the wind beneath our wings, to try to be shoulders that we could stand on. But sometimes they fell short, very, very short. This Yizkor prayer is not about lying or faking or retelling the story that's not true. But perhaps this Yizkor prayer becomes a time where we close our eyes for those people who came before us and we talk to them a little bit. We talk to them a little bit about how we're struggling we still struggle, how we wish things could have been different, and maybe, just maybe, a little bit more towards compassion and forgiveness. Compassion and forgiveness does not mean it was all okay, what happened. It just means I'm not going to let that hold me back anymore. But remember, for those of us for whom we can look back to our ancestors and truly call them Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, Leah, that's how they feel to us. We stand on their shoulders. This is the time to thank them for that. In your quiet time, to think specifically, what are the ways you are who you are, and you've passed on their legacy? Because every time you think of them, you say to yourself, I want to be as good in this way as they were. So the Yizkor prayers, before we even get into them, I invite each of us to take some quiet time, to close our eyes, take some breaths. Some of us may put a talit over our head just to have some peace. To picture in our mind the people who we're holding, the people who we need to thank and honor with our tears and gratitude, and those who we still may need to work a few things out. They're all part of our history. All of them brought to where we are today, just like our great ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. Let us remember them honestly and for a blessing. Let us take some quiet time to bring them into our shul this Yom Kippur. Adonai, ma adam v'teda'ehu, ben enosh v'tichashvehu, adam lehevel dama yamav ketzel over. Baboker yatzitz v'chalaf, la'erev yimolel v'yavesh, limnot yamenu ken hoda, v'navi levav chokhmah. Adonai, what are human beings that you take account of them? Mortals that you care for them. Humans are as a breath, their days like a passing shadow. In the morning they flourish anew, in the evening they shrivel and die. Teach us to count each day that we may acquire a heart of wisdom. On this solemn day, we each make judgments about the quality of our life. We re-examine our deeds and relationships with our community and with others. We express our yearnings for a new year, a new beginning, a year during which we commit ourselves to work toward bringing health and peace to all. We long for a year when individually and communally we shall strive to live in a way that is more reflective of the ideals that we cherish. Now, in the midst of looking at our life and assessing its quality, we pause to reflect and to remember and to dedicate ourselves anew. The deaths of those we now remember left holes in our lives, but we are grateful for the gift of their lives, and we are strengthened by the blessings that they left us and the precious memories that comfort and sustain us as we recall them this day. In particular, we call to mind those Beth Meyer congregants who died in just this past year. They include Gerald Elkin, Eileen Broutman, Ronald Schwartz, Deborah Parker, Betty Rothman, Saul Barenthal, Lois Mendel, Ron Kirschbaum, and Terry Grunwald. May their memories be for a blessing. Some of us recall parents who watched over us, nursed us, guided us, and sacrificed for us. Some of us lovingly call to mind a wife, husband, or partner with whom we were truly united in our hopes, in our pains, in our failures, in our achievements, in our joys and sorrows. Some of us remember brothers and sisters who grew up together with us, sharing the play of childhood, in the youthful adventure of discovering life's possibilities, bound to us by heritage of family tradition and by years of togetherness and love. Some of us call to mind children, entrusted to us too briefly, to whom we gave our loving care, and from whom we received a trust that enriched our lives. So many of us recall beloved relatives and friends whose affection and devotion enhanced our lives and whose visible presence will never return to cheer, encourage, or support us. Though they are gone, we are grateful for the blessings they brought to our lives. We are sustained and comforted by the thought that their presence in our lives remains an enduring blessing that we can bequeath to others. We can show our devotion to them by our devotion to those ideas that they cherished. O God of love, make us worthy of the love we have received by teaching us to love you with all our heart and with all our soul, with all our might, and to spread the light of your divine love on all whose lives touch ours. Give us strength to live faithfully, if we are cheered by our confidence that you will not permit our lives to be wasted, but will bring all our worthy strivings to live on, even as we may not see.